How does one achieve the final form of a choosing beggar? Well, they have a child, of course, and become an entitled parent. In today's episode of Entitled Parents, a movie theater has a clever way to cater to both parents and children wanting to watch a good movie, but one mother isn't satisfied and insists she and her son deserve more. Our fan-submitted story. An amusement park worker normally enjoys his job. He starts to enjoy it less when an entitled dad does something sneaky to stay on a ride longer than he's supposed to. And our final story. She's got it all. An education, a great job, and a wonderful man. But an entitled mother is determined to take it all away from her. What does the entitled mother attempt to do to ruin this woman's chance at happiness? Don't forget to like, subscribe, bell, and let's get straight into it. This story was called Lady Tries to Make Me Play a Movie in the Movie Theater Just for the Son, Without Paying, just because it's her son. I wasn't sure if I should post it here or Choosing Beggars, but here we are. A little bit of background. I'm a college student. For the past 6 months and a half, I've been working in a movie theater. Specifically, I'm the one who checks the tickets and guides, sometimes, the people to the movie room that their movie is played at. In our movie theater, we also play old movies. When I say old, I don't mean only like from 50 years ago. I mean we can play movies that got out a few months ago and they aren't the newest. Like almost all the movie theaters in the world, we have both kids movies and R-rated movies. So this is about 2 weeks ago. It was about 8 at night and I was doing my normal shift. That day, there was Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation playing one room and Halloween 2018, the pretty famous horror movie, playing in the other room. We decided to play these two movies together at the same time, so even parents can go see the horror movie without worrying about their kids, since their children will be watching, in a room a few feet away, a nice, not scary movie. Anyway, everything was going fine. Some people were coming alone to see Halloween. Some families came and got separated as the parents went to Halloween while the kids went to Hotel Transylvania, while others just came for the kids movie. So at the last moment when the movie theoretically had already started, I'm just sitting on my desk and this lady, the choosing beggar, comes up to me with her kid that was pretty young, like 7 or 8 years old, at most, with a ticket in her hand. Hello? She hands me one ticket. Good evening. I take the ticket in my hand, check it. It's all good. The Halloween movie is played on room number 2, which is the first door on your left. I point in the direction she should go. Great, thanks. She starts walking with her child towards the direction I told her. Excuse me. I get beside her, preventing her from walking any further. The movie you're about to see is considered an R-rated movie, and your kid is too young to watch it. Plus, even if he was old enough, he doesn't have a ticket. I'm his mother. I know what my child can take or not. I don't doubt that. It's just that there are rules that need to be followed. I can't let you take him in. She gets frustrated and raises her voice. And what am I supposed to do now, huh? I paid for this ticket and I will lose the movie. Well, there is a kid movie playing in room 1. She doesn't let me finish and gently pushes her child towards me. Excellent, take him there. Okay, will do. Let's just go back to my desk for a second so you can buy a ticket. Her face pretty much dropped as I spoke the word buy. What? What? I can't and won't buy another ticket. I don't have that much money to spend. I thought I could take him inside. It's unfair. I'm just a single mother with not enough income. I'm sure you can take him in for free. He won't bother anyone. Even though I didn't get why she thought it would be okay to bring her 8 to 9-year-old child in an R-rated movie without buying him a ticket, I kinda felt bad with what she said about being a single mum, so I decided to do something that I would regret later. Well, I can't just sneak him in, but you can always buy the ticket with my personal discount. It will cost you very little. At this point, she was still annoyed with what I proposed. She clearly just didn't want to pay. Fine, let's go. And for those who will ask, she didn't even pay the heavily discounted ticket. She just handed me $1 single and told me it was all she had, how great her kid was and blah blah blah. And because I felt bad for the little boy, I accepted it and filled the rest of the ticket with my own money. So after this pleasant money exchange finished, I give the ticket to the little boy. What movie am I going to see? Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation. Oh, I've seen that already. The choosing beggar interrupts me with attitude. Could you play him something else? He's bored seeing the same movies all over again. My eyes rounded when she said that, but I just thought she is too dumb to understand that this can't happen because the world does not revolve around her. I'm sorry, but no, I can't do that. Why not? I paid and he is a very quiet and good kid. We both deserve to see a movie and relax. Ma'am, I can't play a movie just for your son to see, and you didn't exactly pay. And then she, for some unknown reason, freaking exploded. You just can't help someone in need, can you? You have no idea how being a single parent is, and you just can't make a little favor that will cost you nothing? You are so selfish, I can't believe it. My son and I are good people. Why can't you just do a little favor? I was pretty much stunned with the situation and didn't know what to do, so I just said what I thought was right, but turned out it wasn't. I tried to help you, but you are asking me things I can't do. Then I want my money back, this instant! Well, your ticket about the Halloween movie can't be returned, so I can't refund you it, but here is your dollar bill. She shouts even louder, if possible. Why? Why can't it be returned? The movie has already started, and it's written on the ticket that it can't be returned after. Then give me the money of the other ticket. I hand her the dollar bill quickly. She wasn't satisfied with the money I gave her, clearly. The rest? Freaked out me. What do you mean, the rest? You paid $1. This ticket cost much more. I want the rest. Are you trying to steal from me? Before I could answer, she took all the advertising papers that were on my desk about upcoming movies and threw it on my face. After that, I called my manager. She kept on screaming, saying that we treated her unfairly, that she deserved free tickets because she was a single mum, and that we don't help those in need, and that we will rot in hell for being such terrible people. She, of course, tried to get refunded by both tickets, and of course, for my rude behavior. But thankfully, it didn't work for either of those. My manager forbids her from coming to the theater ever again, and refunded me for going through that. This fan-submitted story was called My Worst Day of Work. I saw and loved the YouTube videos and decided to sign up to Reddit just to share this story. Sorry it's a long one. No apologies necessary. So, for a bit of backstory, I work at a theme park in the UK. And on this particular day, I was working at the boat ride where the guests can control the boat themselves. As a result, you have lots of people getting stuck, both on purpose and accidental, as well as people attempting to go the wrong way in the one-way channel to get more ride time, which is against the rules. Because of these constant issues, a waiter is necessary. This is usually my favorite position at any ride I'm certified to work on, but not this day. The cast. EP is the entitled parent, who happens to be the dad, and not an FG. FG are the foreign guests. It's necessary to know that while they could understand and speak English, they couldn't very well. WF is my work friend, and me is me, obviously. It's worth saying that I have mild autism and ADHD. Not enough to notice, but enough to make things difficult for me in high-stress situations. It's the end of the day, so the queue line is closed, but still has guests in the queue. I start putting the boats away, but still enough to get through the line in a quick and timely manner. I am called via the PA to go to the back of the ride, where I find there are about 5 boats all going the wrong way, 4 of which are the foreign guests, and 1 is the entitled parent and his 2 daughters, only about 5 and 8. I get into the water and start turning the boats around, starting from those furthest around the course, letting the foreign guests know that they can't go the wrong way in a light-hearted tone. Then as I'm turning around the entitled parent's boat and telling him that he can't go backwards, he loudly proclaims that his steering isn't working and that's why he was backwards. I turn his steering wheel and surprise, surprise, the boat turns in the direction I pointed. I go back to the end of the ride to put more boats away, but then I get another call by the PA to the same location as last time. To my annoyance, one of the foreign guest boats and the entitled parent's boat are even further back to where I spun them around. I spin them around again, telling them again that they cannot go backwards, in less of a light-hearted tone. Once again, the EP tells me that his steering isn't working. I humour him and open the boat's bonnet to check the steering mechanism. Surprise, surprise, nothing is wrong with the boat. I tell the EP that his boat works normally, however, that the steering is deliberately restrictive to prevent them from going backwards, which they shouldn't be doing. I go back to the end of the ride to help boats get through the bottleneck without getting stuck, but also get away from the EP who is getting on my nerves by now. At this point, it's about half hour past when the queue line closed. We'd usually hope to be fully packed up by now, but hey, it was a particularly busy day. Yet again, I was called to the same location to find, again, the EP going the wrong way. At this point, I am ticked off. I, yet again, turn his boat around and tell him that he cannot go the wrong way, to which he responds that the foreign guests were going backwards too. I respond that they were foreign guests and they quite possibly didn't understand me the first time due to a language barrier, but that they were going in the correct direction now, and that if he goes backwards again, that I will take control of his boat, effectively ending his ride. This time, I hide in the bushes of the embankment and watch him. Around 5 meters later, he turns the boat around. "Caught you!" I yell from behind the bushes. "What did I just say to you, sir?" He's stunned in silence that I called him out. I head over to his boat, spin it around, tell him that I warned him and he and his daughters are being escorted off the ride. I start pushing his boat towards the end of the ride. The entitled parent spins around on his seat and screams into my face, "What are you doing?" "Sorry sir, I have told you multiple times that you cannot go the wrong way, which is against the rules, and that if you did it again, that I would be taking control of your boat." I am able to push him about 10 meters while being bombarded with abusive language. One of my favorite quotes would be, "You're ruining my daughter's day!" The daughters were currently terrified of their father, before he stands up in this unstable boat and attempts to push me off the boat while it's rocking back and forth. "Sit down, sir, or security will be called." He laughs and calls my bluff. "Right, security is being called right now." I storm off and go to the operator's booth to call security. I calm down in the booth with the operator who helps console me and calm me down. Within the minute, the EP gets off the end of the ride and runs off with his daughters. Then security arrives, missing the EP by seconds. They take a statement and run off heading in the direction of the EP. When I finally get to the locker room, I'm telling my story to my work friend, who works on a transport ride to get the guests up to the exit of the park. He says that he recognizes the brief description of EP and that they were the last people on the ride, and that before they got on, security were talking to them. He overheard that the entitled parent was complaining about me and that he was demanding a free ride on our largest attraction to make up for it, and that the day was ruined for his daughters. At this point, literally every ride had been closed for over an hour, except for the transportation ride that has to stay open till every guest has left the park. So even if they were in the right, they couldn't be compensated. Security dismissed them and told my work friend to get them out of the park. This story was called Dump Your Fiancé, My Daughter Wants a Stepdaddy. The players: EM, entitled single mum; D, the entitled mother's daughter, I guess she was about 9; H, my now husband of over 10 years. These events took place over 10 years ago. From years 0 to 1, H dated EM off and on for a few months, and then definitively, it's over for good, dumped her. Year 2, I began working at their company. Through her reputation, I knew EM had a few brief flings with hot mess high drama dudes. Year 3, H and I start dating. I transferred to a different department from him and EM, in part because of our relationship. Year 4, H and I got engaged. Most people were surprised, as we were pretty private people. The day after I came into the office with an engagement ring on, I have an email in my inbox from EM with HR CC'd. It read something like, "Please break off your engagement immediately. It's so unprofessional that you and H snuck around and blindsided everyone. As you know, we were a serious item for quite a long time. My daughter is quite attached to him and thinks of him as her dad. Note: girl spends half her time at her dad's house. He's a nice guy. A woman of your educational attainment should not need a husband for financial security as I do. Further, if you haven't had children by now, note, I was 28, you probably aren't going to. You made your choices, and you can more than support yourself. Do you really need to take a good man just to be spiteful? If you're okay sleeping at night after what you did to a little girl and destroying a family, perhaps you shouldn't have this job. Spoiler alert, I wasn't fired, but Em lost her mind again sometime later when I announced my pregnancy. Girl had to stay with her dad for a few weeks during the fallout. We've since moved out of state, and I can just hope that the little girl's dad has remained a strong influence in her life. The hilarious thing is that she thought by CCing HR in that they might step in and do something about it or do something for her, or maybe they'd validate her opinion. And yet the things she was saying were completely inappropriate. It's the exact reason HR would step in to stop someone doing something like that. If you'd like your story to be narrated by me, don't forget to visit the subreddit r/VoiceyHere, link below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.